G'day and welcome to my channel. In this episode we head off to a beautiful little oasis in the middle of an arid landscape called Bitter Springs. It is located approximately 2 kilometres from the township of Mataranka in the Katherine region and is part of Oasis National Park. From Darwin, it's about 424 kilometres or a 4-hour and 23-minute drive. Or from the town of Katherine, it's about an hour and 11 minutes or 110 kilometres. These springs have a bit of history and was made famous in the 1982 movie We of the Never Never. It has a bit of a checkered past, but it's a beautiful spot to see. I'll leave some links below if you're interested in the history, but for this video we are more interested in the inhabitants. So sit back and relax and enjoy the video, and please like and subscribe for more like this.
If I could travel back in time, I'd lay a blanket full of stars to brighten up the darkness of our sleepless nights.
The water from the springs rises from the underground at a rate of 30.5 million litres per day and has an average temperature of between 25 and 34 degrees Celsius all year round, which makes it very popular for swimmers. When you visit this beautiful place, it pays to leave early in the morning to get the true beauty of it, as if you wait until later, it almost turns into a public pool with all the people that stop by. The springs are closed during the wet season from November to April and reopen during the dry from May to September. But it pays to wait until a little later in the season, as we found out when we were actually going to visit. It was closed due to a saltwater crocodile that had to be caught. But once the springs are cleared of any dangers, it's a beautiful place to relax. The name Bitter Springs came from the taste of the water. It is quite bitter due to all the minerals that come up from underground through the limestone layer. And you see this when you swim in the springs, as all the gravel on the bottom appears to be white and chalky, where the surrounding area is just red sand. So with the volume of water that rises, it brings up all the limestone with it and lines the creek. The spring water starts its journey here, rising from underground, and then flows to Roper Creek and then off to the Roper River, which then flows off to the Gulf of Carpentaria North on its journey to the sea. The clarity of the water is amazing, and you just don't realise how deep it is until you actually get in. In some places it's probably about 3 metres deep, as you can see by Nick and Harlan trying to walk on the bottom. I found the best way to enjoy its beauty was just to slowly float downstream, as the current is quite strong and will slowly take you down to a spot where you can get out, then walk up back around to the top of the springs and then float back down again. This way you can really enjoy its beauty. The depth of the springs and the size of the plants made it quite difficult to film. We actually had to use proper camera tripods and stab them into the ground so they wouldn't get taken away by the current. But once we did this, we got quite nice footage. But it does make it hard when it's 3 metres deep to actually try and get a footing somewhere to try and set your cameras up. When snorkeling, the banks are made up of tree roots and debris. It is quite an eerie feeling, as there is plenty of caves and plenty of places for crocodiles to hide. You've always got that in the back of your mind. I watched many videos on these springs before I came up here, and there wasn't much information on the underwater inhabitants, animal or plant, so it was quite interesting to go through and check out what was actually here. We found a couple of main species of fish, the checkered rainbow fish and the Maclay's glassfish. These were the two main common species. I put the names of all the species up on the screen to make it easier to follow for plants and animals, as the signs for this place and other places around here aren't much help. We found most of the signs just had Melanotaenia species, and I later found out even the turtle species here was wrong. On the sign they had Victoria River turtle, and they've actually been studied to be Worrell's turtles, so they may have to do a little bit of work on the signage. These turtles are really beautiful to see in the crystal clear water, and although they try and avoid you, they seem quite clumsy and find it hard to get away, and after a while seem to just get used to you. It's amazing the abundance of fish in these waters considering the hot temperatures. During the day they start to surface and gasp for air as the water gets really warm, and it doesn't help with all the people swimming in here, stirring it up. You see them on the edges under the weed trying to find a nice cooler spot to hide out of the midday sun. It was quite interesting seeing the plant species here. They were actually all common species in the aquarium trade, and this makes for a good biotope for anybody wanting to replicate it. The main species was hornwort and Vallisneria nana. Lots of algae covering the bottom where there was high enough light in amongst the limestone sand. Even the water lily that grows here was a common species to northern Australia and Southeast Asia, and is known as the blue water lily, and looked quite nice growing submersed along the bottom, with it creeping to the surface on the edges with the blue flowers. These turtles, seemingly trying to avoid you, also seem quite inquisitive to see what you have to maybe offer, but don't feed any animals here as it's a national park. It wouldn't be good for their diet anyway. These rainbow fish were in great numbers, but they all seem to be young fish, unlike in the river systems where you see the larger fish. I'm thinking in these waters they probably don't live very long with all the high mineral content, or they may make their way down to a larger water body as they get older. But we didn't see any real large fish like you would in the river system, and some of them actually look quite worn out with lesions on their body. There isn't many places like this. It was like an underwater garden. The turquoise blue water as far as the eye could see. We were lucky to have a few spots like this in Australia, but they are very few and far between. Large fallen trees crossing over the waterway with plants either side. It really was like an aquascape, and I can't wait to replicate this someday. And anybody around the world would be able to, as they're all common plants and mostly common fish. It really is an underwater paradise, and all three of us couldn't get enough of it. What a way to spend a few hours after driving through the arid landscape that surrounds it. I hope you enjoyed joining me on this little adventure. Thanks for watching, and please like and subscribe for more like this. I'll see you again soon.